Hey, it's Skark11, and this actually was not the video I'd planned to have up today. Originally, this was going to be a collection episode for Avalugg and Noivern, but I decided Noivern needed to be completely remade, and then Avalugg wasn't enough on its own, so I went and made Hisuian Avalugg last minute. Luckily, I was able to get it together pretty quickly since I could just base it off of the design I already had for Avalugg, and it has a simple color scheme, so it didn't take too long to put together after actually making the build for it. So here is LEGO Bergmite, Avalugg, and Hisuian Avalugg. First up we have Bergmite. This one's pretty simple. I like the shape of it though. It reminds me of those enemies from the Ice Dungeon in Twilight Princess. I forget what they're called. Next up, Avalugg. So Avalugg, I slightly updated the build for once I was making these, because I wanted to have it be a little more uniform with Hisuian Avalugg. So I added more pieces onto the feet that weren't there originally, and that also made it taller and fit more in line with the size it's supposed to be, making it a little bit closer to the height compared to a minifigure. This thing's just a massive chunk. So one thing I've always liked about this design is the flat surface around it. I will have a tutorial on Hisuian Avalugg in a couple weeks, but for regular Avalugg, I think I'll wait until I'm doing tutorials through all the Kalos Pokemon before I do a remake tutorial on that, since this build has gotten a tutorial in the past just without the extra studs on the feet. So you could see how to build it now if you want to watch the really old video on that. And then we have Hisuian Avalugg. So, like I was saying, at least I think I said it in this take of recording this, but the color scheme is very simple, so I was able to get it done pretty quickly, despite how big it is. It's a little bit longer than regular Avalugg, but also not as wide. And this, I made this functional. Well, actually, I didn't quite have a choice because I had to make it functional in order to actually get it into the right shape. And that broke off. I didn't really have any good references of what the underside of it looks like, so it's possible it's missing something like what regular Avalugg has with the icicles hanging from it. I'm not sure if there's anything supposed to be hanging from its belly. And I took a slightly different approach to the flat surface of this one since it was a different height. It's supposed to be 2 feet shorter than regular Avalugg. So instead of having just the flat surface with the plates put over everything, I had the head and the back without plates on them and just lined up more with the plates. Also, so I could give it more of a sharp design instead of having to line up with the plates like this one, which makes it more square. So yeah, I'll have a tutorial on Hisuian Avalugg in 2 weeks. Next week will be a tutorial on Golbat and Crobat first. So since I already had that planned, it'll be 2 weeks from now that I'll have the tutorial on how to build Hisuian Avalugg. If you want to see the other Sinnoh and Hisui LEGO Pokemon that I've made so far, then you can check out the playlist here. And if you watch the end, comment Blossom Dance down below. So see you next time.